Next on Investigate TV's, people accused of crimes stuck in jail with no legal representation across the country.
He has no help. He has no one to turn to.
It's not an exaggeration to say it is a constitutional crisis.
A problem forcing judges to dismiss serious crimes, eroding the public's trust in the criminal justice system.
It's broken. Public defense in our county is broken at this point.
And a growing concern, innocent people could be sent to prison as a consequence.
It should bring chills to all of us when we realize that any of us can be accused of a crime.
Our investigation this 6th starts now. The 18-year-old, who had never been in serious trouble in the past, faced up to 65 years in prison.
And you could be here for a long time.
Trequel couldn't afford an attorney or the $25,000 bail, so he sat in jail in Wood County, Wisconsin, and waited for his court-appointed attorney. His mom and sister say Trequel called the state's public defender office every day, asking for a lawyer.
And he's like, Mom, they literally laughed at me on the phone, like, yeah, right, you're waiting for a lawyer. You know, like there's a lot of other people too.
Trequel's fellow inmates witnessed him struggle too.
Like he was calling for weeks to get a public defender. They kept saying, oh, we don't have one, we don't have one yet.
On the Davis court hearing, Trequel walked into court alone. According to court transcripts, the judge told him you do have a right to ask questions of the officer, although if you had an attorney here, they would tell you not to do so. At the end of the 30-minute hearing, the judge decided there was enough evidence to charge the teen. When Trequel tried to protest the ruling, citing no representation, the judge told him that will be something you can discuss with your attorney.
So not only you have this young teen that has never been in serious troubles trying to navigate the system, but he's alone. He has no guidance from anybody.
Later that night in jail, Trequel took a shower, went to church, tied a blanket around his cell door and neck, and let go.
Cammy, this is Lee at the Wood County Jail. We need an ambulance as soon as possible.
I remember laying in my bed and I heard her yell up the stairs. All of a sudden I just hear, Trey hung himself, Trey hung himself. So
Wisconsin's public defender office says agency staff made approximately 300 calls and emails. The private attorney certified to take state public defender cases, but did not find the teen a lawyer in time for his court date. The state suffered from a public defender shortage when Trequel needed one. 4 years later, today, it's worse than ever. A fundamental right to an attorney falling apart across the country. In Oregon, the state has 1/3 of the public defenders it needs, according to the American Bar Association. In New Mexico, it needs 67% more lawyers to adequately represent defendants. And in Atlanta, Georgia,
Good morning, Mr. Robinson. How you doing?
Good morning. I'm doing good.
It's easy to spot the problem nearly every day in Fulton County Court. People charged with crimes, waiting for a court-appointed attorney. Robert McBurney is the Fulton County Superior Court judge behind the camera.
What we have right now is akin to the scenarios that we decry when we say, well, look at the criminal justice system in China or Iran, where people can get scooped up and held without charges or without it being made clear what's going on, and most importantly, no due process.
A failure in the criminal justice system impacting the poor, including Trequel Van Marco.
I mean, my brother was never in serious trouble. We never expected this to happen to him. It shouldn't have happened to him. He shouldn't have been put in a situation where he lost hope and he felt his only way out was to take his life. He was 18. He had so much more life to live.
What's happening is a constitutional crisis in Portland. People arrested for crimes, but no court-appointed attorney to represent them required by law.
It's broken. Public defense in our county is broken at this point.
Mike Smith is the Monoma County District Attorney.
And what it leads to, I think, is a lack of trust in the system. You know, I came forward, I reported this crime, and now you're telling me that because of some decision or lack of resources at a different level of government, my case was dismissed. It doesn't make sense.
Not only is it appropriate, I think it's actually constitutionally required, and I wish there were more judges across the country that would exercise that necessary power, because that's the only way you're going to fix the problem.